portion of our meeting. We're going to pick up our agenda with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. Pledge of Allegiance
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, well, thank you everyone for joining us. We have 3 special presentations tonight. We're going to start with our Riverview Elementary School staff presentation.
First off, we want to thank Dr. Cullis, Mr. Forte, and the school board for having us. The staff that are here are from our social, emotional, and learning team at Riverview, and the students here are some of our student leaders, which you're going to hear about in a little bit.
We're so excited about all the leadership roles that our students take on in our school, and so tonight we want to present to you what leadership looks like at Riverview School for an individual student, for a class, for a grade level, and for the entire school. So please enjoy student leadership, big and small, at Riverview School.
And up first, we have Juliana and Sebastian from 4th grade presenting Freckle at the individual leadership level.
Hello, my name is Julie.
My name is Sebastian.
One way we show leadership in our own learning is through Freckle.
Freckle is an online math program that allows us to set our own goals and track our progress.
In the beginning of the year, we took an online test that shows us what needs improvement and what we have mastered.
Our teacher taught us how to track our progress through goal winners.
You can either answer every week we pick a goal of our choice depending on what we think we need help on most.
You can either answer questions or get high accuracy and fact practice.
Then we set how many times we want to practice that goal in that week.
We love that we get coins for playing and are achieving our goals.
Then we can use those coins to buy props for our characters. We are tied to the store, so most of our time in Freckle is practicing.
I feel in control of my learning and love getting the choice of what I want to work on. I feel proud of myself when I get close to my goal and feel that I can succeed.
Once you load into Freckle, you can either click on Answer Questions or Get High Accuracy as your goals. So when you click on, if you click on Answer Questions and you go, you can choose if you want to do it 20 times, 40 times, or 60 times, and all of which you'll get a high. The more times you do it, the more coins you get. So if I click on 40 times, and I click check mark, and it says if you finish your goal by Sunday, you'll get 800 coins. So to actually get my goal, I'm going to click Let's Practice. You can see how many times you want to get the questions correct. So then you go to Math, and it'll ask you if you want to do adaptive math or fact practice. Fact practice is where you go in and it'll show you you'll just get times for some practicing. And adaptive math, you go to adaptive math, you can click on whichever one you need more help with for the levels. So it'll say, so for me, this one is suggested operations knowledge way of thinking. So I'm on level 22 on that. So if you click on this one, then it'll bring you to where you can click on it. So you could practice, and then you go practice, and then you basically get like word problems and some stuff like that. Yeah.
So that was a student-made instructional video, also by our leadership students. So.
Welcome back,
Back to you, though. Let's do it. Hello, everyone. We are the Bellas, and we are here to talk about how we feel about leadership and student-led assemblies. As you can see, we started in the Review News broadcast about respect. It took a long time to manage, but we finished it all because we all took our part. One of the biggest rules we had to deal with was leadership. Hey Bella, why do you like student-led assemblies? Well, I love student-led assemblies because it gives the students a chance to take part in leadership, and it gives us an opportunity to show how responsible we are. It lets the students be in charge for once, which is good because with this we can learn leadership and responsibility. Also, we want to share this idea with everyone and let students at other schools participate in this idea. Now, Bella, what are your thoughts on student-led assemblies? Student-led assemblies are a special privilege, but you have to put it in the right hands. When we figured out we were doing a student-led assembly, we knew it was going to be fun and all, but we had to get down to business. Every school out there should do student-led assemblies to help your students open up to a crowd. Your review allows everyone to have a chance to get to do a student-led assembly. I think it's a great opportunity to show your spirits and to let everyone feel how we felt on that day. We felt like leaders in the moment. As you can see, everybody, that's what leadership means to me. Thank you all for letting us share what student assemblies mean to us, and thank you for letting us take part in this board meeting. All in all, we had a great time doing our assembly. Thank you.
Next up, we have Wendy and Leah with Workout Wednesday.
Hi, I'm Wendy. And I'm Leah. Each grade level has had the opportunity to participate in Workout Wednesday, in which we start our day with the workout and breathing exercise in the APR. This helps us feel healthy and calm, and release some energy before we start our day of school. It gives us a chance to participate in movement-based learning, making us feel ready to start each day. Now that I realize that Workout Wednesday helps me get ready for the day, I know I can exercise at the start of each day, so I can start the day positive. Now I can teach others, especially younger students, that learning is fun and to start each day with a positive attitude.
Okay, next up, we have two fifth graders talking about their experience on fiscal dismissal, which we do at the conclusion of each school day.
Hi, Riverview. Thanks for joining me today. At this time, our walkers, high holders, kindergarten helpers, and those going to after-school activities should dismiss if they have not already. Let's find out who rocked it today. Our first rocket shout-out is from Nathaniel in 3rd grade, nominated by Ms. Gallagher. She says Nathaniel saw a girl in his class struggling after lunch with many things to carry. He immediately went over to her and offered to carry her lunchbox and other items. She was very grateful for the help and requested that he get a rocket shout-out. They both exhibited true rocket behavior. The next one is for Jacob Mahoney in 4th grade, nominated by Mrs. Berger, for working so hard during class time and helping his classmates to read accurately. Way to go, Jacob. And the last rocket shout-out for today is Willow in 2nd grade, nominated by Ms. Corbo. She says, thank you, Willow, for playing catch with a friend in gym class. Awesome job, Review Rockets. Let's keep up that rocket behavior. Today, I am very excited to have two students from my own class here with me today, so please welcome them.
Hi, I'm Emma, and I'm Ava. Welcome to Peaceful Dismissal. We have spent 6 weeks talking about what the rocket acronym is. Now we can encourage you to think about what you can do around the school or in the classroom to show the rocket behavior. Bye, Review. Hi, I'm Emma. And I'm Eva. Going on a Christmas dismissal was nerve-wracking because I was speaking in front of the whole school. yet exciting because I was at the same time because I was teaching people how to be a refugee rock. Going on peaceful dismissal was really exciting because I knew that my friends and kindergartners that I hoped would be watching me. I thought I was able to be a leader for the younger students. Through the experience, I was able to learn to control myself, the valuable skill of learning to control myself in front of a crowd by talking about an important topic. I learned that public speaking is a very important skill to have. Peaceful dismissal gave me an opportunity to practice that while spreading a message to the whole school. Bye. Thank you.
We are blasting off into student leadership. Go Rockets!
Great job, everyone. Thank you. Great job.
What do you want? You know we got it. What do you need? Here we have it. All we're asking is to show a little respect when you come to school. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Walk through the door at Riverview. Show respect is what you're gonna do. All we're asking is to show a little respect when you come to school. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. We're gonna show you our rocket pride. Show respect far and wide. And this is what we're here to do at Riverview. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the students and staff for coming out. Really appreciate it. I think I might use peaceful dismissal at my work next week. I don't know if it'll work, but thank you very much. Awesome job. Great job presenting. Great job with everything you're doing at school. So we really appreciate you guys coming out. You guys, I know it's a school night, so if you want to leave, you're more than welcome to. You're more than welcome to stay around. Are we doing, you're doing?
We do it next, so why
Okay.
don't we wait?
Go ahead, stick around for a few minutes. Dr. Cullis, are you doing that presentation?
Yeah.
Awesome. Floor is yours.
More work to do about. So just recently we found out that each of our schools who had applied for the bronze certification for future ready status, we did that back in June, but we just found out that each of our schools was awarded the bronze certification. So I'm here to acknowledge our incredible teams that put this together and let you know what they went through that process and also to give out our banners. So first I just want to acknowledge the district team. So each school building put together a team and we worked on creating all of these indicators and collecting the evidence that showed that we were future ready, whether it was how we were using technology in the classroom, how we were showing leadership, how we were collaborating with each other. We collected all of that information and whittled down to our best 10 pieces of data on each indicator. To give you an idea, we submitted over 450 pieces of data for this award. It was a very impressive amount of work, and I'm so proud of our team, so I'm excited that you can stay and listen to that. First, I just want to mention our district team. So after all of the data was put together, that team looked through all the data, and myself and the technology manager, we made sure every one of those links worked so that those that were evaluating it would make sure to see all of our fantastic efforts. Our district team, and if you would just stand at this moment for the district members. Dino Capello is our board member. Jen Caforti, Cindy Costanza, who could not be here tonight. Damaris Gorowski, our business administrator, Patty Heising, Rachel Jameson, Seth Corman, Jen Matchkey, Michelle Oliveira, Sky Sardanopoli, Evan Scala, and Renee Sudol. That's our district team. I'd like to acknowledge our Lakeview leaders. So each school had a leader that helped coordinate all of the efforts within the school. So start with Lakeview. If Jen Matchkey could come up, please. Patty, would you please come up? Diane Fataruso, Stacia Rothrock, Evan Scala, Kim Erla. Mrs. Paisley, would you please come up? And Evan too, you have to be. This is a national certification, just like our National Schools of Good Character. This is another national certification. Congratulations. And for our Riverview team. Our Riverview team leader was Renee Sudol. And the Riverview team members, Karen Hagman, Rachel Jameson, Christine Morgan, Sky Sardanopoli, Ali Saka, Trish Shell, and Renee Sudol. Our Valley View team leaders, Michelle Oliveira. And our middle school team is Jim Chiquino, Jeff Eggert, Seth Corman, Erin Leskis, Steve Maloya, Disha Patel, Lydia Stiles, and Jennifer Ford. And Mr. Capello and our board president, Mr. Forte. Please come back up and if I can do and Renee, come back up. Grab one of your banners.
Give it and take it.
I do.
She's getting it.
sure Cindy wants to hear this, but I guess our next goal will be going for silver. Let's see what it is.
And thank you to Dr. Cullis for all the work she put in too, the staff. So we do have one additional presentation from our auditor. You're more than welcome to stay, but you're also welcome. So thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it.
There's no flowers.
I'm trying to help you.
No, I know. I know you do. That's for the clip. Yes, thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Look good, man. Absolutely.
Not least, sorry nobody stuck around. We
stayed.
stayed.
In the room just like that.
Were you nervous when you walked in and saw everybody here?
Yeah, well done like that too.
This is going to be really good.
High contrast.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
You mind if I sit? Or
Not at all. Sit, relax. Can we have, let's give her the microphone just so we can, does it want to read it too? Right there?
Yeah.
It's just so we can get it on video. There you go. Thank you very much.
Everyone's doing good tonight. It's hard to follow the order of that presentation. So once again, we're here to present the audit, and as you can tell, you don't have the books yet because once again, the state is late in issuing their information on what they call GASP 75, which is their actual valuation on the other totally kind of employment benefits. The latest we heard is they said it will be released by the end of this week, but we've heard that before. Originally it was back in September, and then the end of September, and then October, and here we are. Last year they didn't issue the report until late January, so you probably didn't get the audits until probably February. But none of those, that report they're going to issue is not going to change any of the numbers that we talked about tonight. So I think the mayor's, you pass this out. Does anybody need a copy of the summary?
You have it in here.
I have extra copies.
It's a report from the 18th of October. This is the fund balance. Are you going on the fund balance or the entire?
The fund balance.
So the fund balance is
yourself? Yes, I do. Okay. A written one. I just guessed how many copies. Like, yes.
You're good with numbers. That's terrible.
All right, so this is just a recap of what the district operates on, which is your general fund. It's broken into a couple of sections. So the top section is what you start off in total fund balance at June 30th, 18, and how we got to the balance of June 30th, 19. And the middle section is what we call your total fund balance, the breakdown of all the various pots of money. So going back to the top section, you started the 18-19 year with $6.8 million and ended the year with $7.5 million in total fund balance. And as you can see in the detail, there's various components as to what comprise of it's approximately $720,019 or $719,000 net increase in total fund balance. And most of that has to do with the $2.9 million lapsed of the expanded budget appropriations from the 18-19 budget. But that's also, you have to look at that combined with the offset of the $2.7 million net amount of fund balance that was used to budget your budget. And you have about $200,000 excess in miscellaneous revenue, and then $211,000 excess in state aid. And that's usually comprised of your extraordinary aid that you don't budget for, and a little bit of non-public transportation aid. And then, like I said before, the middle section is the breakdown of the $7.5 million in total fund balance you have at the end of the year. The top one, I'm going to just go through one by one. The top is the reserve for encumbrances, which is $1.5 million. Compared to last year was $2.3 million, so you have about $700,000 decrease in that number. Encumbrances are goods and services that you've placed by June 30th but haven't received it yet. And capital reserve and maintenance reserve, as you can see, it's $3.5 million at the end of the year and $1.2 million in maintenance reserve. So that was, both of them had an increase about, the capital reserve about $1 million and maintenance reserve about $300,000 from the previous year. And the next two are the excess surplus. What's the allowable 2% above the state limit, state cap for what they call the unassigned fund balance, or some people call it free fund balance. So the $200,000, the current year one, you're required to use it to balance your budget in the 2021 budget, and then the prior one, the bottom 200, you're already using in your current year, the 19-20 budget to balance your budget. And then once again, the $800,000 is the unassigned, which is the max 2%. And then the bottom paragraph just explains that even though your 2% fund balance is capped, the state allows you to make some adjustments to it, so you can go above the 2%. So in your case, and in most cases for other school districts too, is your 2% would have been $639,000, but you're allowed to increase that by the excess of extraordinary aid received by the end of the year, and also in non-public school aid, which is $172,000 and $20,000. I know I went over the numbers pretty fast. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer it. And the other thing I wanted to point out is also in terms of debt, the school has paid off their last debt payment during 18-19, which is good, I think. But then we always, recommend that if you all have any capital projects that are coming up. Of course, nowadays it's pretty, getting a referendum passed is kind of like iffy. And so I know probably last year and the last couple of years we recommend that if you have debt service falling off, it would be a good point in time to kind of have some new debt coming on. But I guess timing didn't work out, so. In terms of recommendation, one very minor recommendation. It has to do with the SEMI program. So, SEMI program was last year? Sorry, I just have, I apologize for that. Oh, so there are no recommendations this year. I apologize, like the last page wasn't updated in my version. All right, so in terms financially, the district is doing good, as healthy as allowed to be. I know it looks like there's a lot of money in capital reserve, but as you know, with any capital projects, the money can go very fast. So that's the also healthy balance we think is prudent balance to have in the capital reserve and maintenance reserve.
As a reminder, this is actually more for the school district boards. Mr. Bill Schroeder is retiring as of December of this year.
I do have a question. Unless I'm mistaken, budget appropriations lapsed. That line is stuff that we either over budgeted for or didn't end up needing, didn't end up using for whatever projects it was for. Am I correct about that?
Well, you also have to keep in mind that the $2.9 million, that doesn't include the $1.5 million in encumbrance.
No, I'm just wondering about the definition of the line. I'm not concerned about the number.
Okay, yes, it's balance of the appropriation lines that haven't been spent by the end of the year.
Okay. And what does fund balance use to balance budget mean?
It means that usually most school districts the amount between tax levy and revenue, let's say you needed $1 million in order to, in total appropriation to operate a school. But your levy is probably, let's say it's capped at $800,000, so you need $200,000 from your savings account to balance your budget in order to operate your school. That's what the fund balance used to balance your budget is.
So that's from capital maintenance reserves? Is that?
That's from your
Or excess surplus.
unassigned, between unassigned fund balance, your reserves, and the and extraordinary aid. Yes, it's all included in that number.
Got it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you just explain on the bottom section, the last three, reserve for excess surplus, current year, prior year, and then unassigned?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I think I missed what exactly those were.
So the state caps your, what they call unassigned fund balance at 2%. So going back a few years, it used to be that there was no cap on fund balance. Then they came up with a 7.5% cap, and then it went down to 6%, and then it went down. It slowly came down to 2%. So that's, I guess, the state's way of kind of controlling the school's budget. So with any amount above the 2% calculation, which is calculated based on your expenditures for the year. So if you look at the bottom paragraph, the $31 million, $31.9 million, 2% of that is a $639,000. But then, like I said before, there is certain allowable adjustment that you can make to go above the 2%. In this case, it's the excess extraordinary aid of $172,000 and the $20,000 in non-public transportation aid. So that brings you up to $832,000. So the $200,000 is the amount above the $832,000 that you're allowed to keep in your unassigned fund balance,
Okay.
which you have to, which the state requires you to use in your subsequent year's budget to balance your budget.
Okay.
And that number is determined an exchange between Steve and I. You should come up with a number, okay, this is how much we want to keep the funds on the budget next year.
But it's capped by the state as to how much you can.
Yes,
2% plus the other.
yes.
Okay.
So if I
understand that correctly then, so we would have a little over $1 million to use to balance the budget going into next year, the 832 plus the 200?
No, it's just the 200.
Just the 200?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, of course, if you decide to take more money out of unassigned fund balance to balance the budget, you're allowed to do that. But we usually don't recommend doing that because it's kind of like dipping into your savings account. If you take it out, you want to replenish it, and if you're not able to have a revenue source to replenish it, or like we talked about before, lapse appropriation to kind of replenish that money, it's just gonna,
But by
the
that,
savings account's gonna go
yeah,
down.
so by that analogy, if we took all of it, and I'm not saying we were going to, or we would, that's the total amount we could take out to balance the budget, and it would be nothing left.
Yes.
Okay, that's, okay, thank you.
And then you have money.
I am not advocating for that, I want to be taken out of context, I just want to understand how the numbers are. Okay, thank you.
As an auditor, it makes me fidgety when you're saying that you're going to spend all your money.
Just going along with this questioning, we would then be allowed to utilize maintenance reserve or capital reserve?
Yes,
Do we need to?
You are allowed to use those two reserves, withdraw from either through the budget process or through approved board resolution for allowable projects. So the capital reserve is usually projects that's in the long-range facilities plan, and maintenance would be for any required maintenance in the schools.
So, let me go back to this for a second, because maybe I don't understand. So the 832,983 has to be used next budget cycle.
No, it's just the 200.
200, right?
Mhm.
What happens to the extra?
The 800,000 is really just a cushion in your budget that you want to leave in your budget just in case something happens. Because a lot of school districts, maybe they sometimes get special ed students that pops up that can cost a few $100,000. That's just an example.
It could even be a cash flow issue, right?
Yes.
The tax revenue money comes in, so that, right, it's basically extra money to have.
Do we know the change compared to last fiscal year?
Last year was a little above 700,000, so it went up about $120,000.
That number really has nothing to do with the 2% that we can raise our budget by, right? That's just.
Yeah, it's just a different cap.
Yeah, that happens to be the state number. Right.
So one thing I always want to wrestle with or want to talk about is, in terms of our capital reserve and our maintenance reserve, do you have any guidance or do you have any examples of districts our size in terms of, are these fund balances appropriate? Are they above other ones? Are they below? Like, do you, and if you don't have that information, it's totally fine. I was wondering, what I always try to see is, are we above or below that kind of, an average?
I think you're on the average, and like I said, in terms of the budget, your budget size and the amount of money you have left in the capital reserve and maintenance reserve is a good balance to have, because you always need to upgrade your school facilities, repair the roof, something. But these capital projects, we all know, cost a lot of money. So it looks like, $3.5 million is a lot, but it really isn't in terms of, it can go very quickly.
Any other questions? Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We look forward to the book. Add it to my
Well, as soon
collection.
as we know.
You joke.
I tell people it's a good way to, you have trouble sleeping.
I've got about 3 years you could read. For the next meeting.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Okay, we're going to move on to our agenda here. Move on to item F, superintendent's comment.
parent is not on the agenda. It's still being worked out with the diocese attorney and our attorney, and we're hoping to have it on the November 25th agenda for approval. Little Valley View Middle School athletics update. The 2019 season was very successful. The boys cross country team concluded their season placing 6th in Group 2 at the Greater Morris County Championships. 8th grader Hogan Hyatt was the first likely to cross the finish line, coming in 9th place overall. The girls cross country team came in 2nd place at the championship meet. Individually, the team was paced by 8th grader Emma Weldon, who finished 2nd place individually. The boys soccer concluded the year with a record of 5 wins, 5 losses, and 3 ties. 8th grader Luis Jimenez led the team, scoring 10 goals. And finally, the girls soccer team, their season continues. They're still alive in the Greater Morris County Tournament, having defeated Kinnelon last Friday. Currently, the team owns an overall record of 7 wins, 3 losses, 5 ties. 8th graders Bryn Ladotti, Kayla Doyle are the team leading scorers, each having netted 5 goals. And the next time the team plays will be Quantic in the semifinals. That's my report today.
Mr. Forte, Dr. Cullis, any assistant superintendent comments?
No additional comments.
And Damaris, any business administrative comments?
Just one. As we are all aware, we are experiencing a shortage of bus drivers. And between Steve, myself, and the transportation director, we have been meeting and brainstorming and hopefully forming sort of like an ad hoc committee to brainstorm for new possible ideas for the 2021 school year. Also discussing it with Sergeant Jackson. So if any of you are available, Mr. Cass, to join us in this community, we would greatly appreciate it. At the very beginning, we'll probably just brainstorm and come up with ideas, and then as we vent new ideas and feasible plan for next year, we'll invite members of the public. So again, if you are interested, please let me know, email me, and we'll get going. I do
We'll
not
do it on
have,
your schedule.
I don't have a meeting date yet.
You're the chair.
Thank you, Damaris. It is 8:14, and we will open for our first public comment section. Anybody who'd like to make a comment can step up to the microphone, sign in, and state your name and address for the record on the microphone. Is the microphone up there?
Sorry.
If you could sign in that sheet.
Turn it on.
Hello? Thank you. Just want to say, I'm Yvette Long, and I'm here representing a couple of organizations. One is Platinum Minds. It's a leadership development organization for boys. And I recently, I was really appreciating the awards that you received. Congratulations. One of the things that I'm involved in is, as we try to work with young men in our communities to give them opportunities for better education opportunities and leadership skills, because I really appreciate some of the leadership things that are going on here this evening. I wrote a book called African American History Untold Stories. And I wrote this book for the scholars in our program to give them a sense of pride and self-esteem and identity to the rich culture and contributions they've made to this wonderful country. Through that process, discovered quite a bit about history that I wasn't aware of, and I'm sure many of you are aware of as well, as we look at African American history that is primarily non-existent in our history books. This information has shown not only to help with academic achievement and self-esteem and giving young students a sense of identity, but also the research that I found that to support the information that I put together also shows that it helps with not only African American students, but also Caucasian students. And it helps in diffuse racism, gives students, black and white, an appreciation of their value and how we've always worked together in this nation for the greater good. And I know that currently within New Jersey we have an homicide law. I don't know where you are within implementing the homicide law within your curriculum. This book has gotten quite a wide appreciation by curriculum directors, and I wanted to come here this evening to kind of share this information with the board. And I know you're interested in excellence and making sure your students have all the opportunities to understand not only the history that we know today, but also African American history and how we can infuse that into our curriculum. So I want to give you an opportunity to share the material that I've written so that you can judge for yourself whether or not you feel that it would be something that might be useful for your students. I'll give you, this is a little card that talks about the history that our history is not just African American history. Once you understand African American history, many of us don't, and many of us aren't aware of true African American history. We only know what we've read in our books that we've all been taught since we were all young, including myself. You find that African American history is really American history. The first Africans came to this continent in 1521. And it shows that they were involved in every war in this nation. They volunteered. They're some of the strongest patriots that we have in this nation. And that was some of the things I wanted to bring forth to the Scholars of Mine program to show that don't disinvest in our nation, invest in our nation. If you knew what your ancestors went through to make this country what it is today, you would see that this is your country. And that we all need to take a strong investment in making it better. Our ancestors came here, all of our ancestors came here at some point for a better life. We all wanted freedoms, liberty, justice, equality, and we haven't quite gotten to that point, but we've come a long way from where we started. And it's going to take all of us working together, all of our students joining together, black, white, joining together to really bring this country to where we want it to be. So that's what this book kind of brings forth, that kind of unity. It's a very positive book, but it also talks about some of the atrocities that happened in our past, but those are necessary. We can't run from those. We have to acknowledge that there were some things that were done that should have been done, but there were a lot of Americans that were not happy with some of the things that happened in our past and worked together with African Americans to change those practices. And today we have incarceration, and there are a lot of Americans today working to change that as well. So, but we have to know our past, we have to know our true past in order to have a better future. And that's what African American Histories Untold Stories does for our students, gives them a brighter future. So thank you for the opportunity to share with you. And you can take a look. In each of this, if you go through the book there, it looks at the arts, literature, math, science, entertainment, all the areas in which African Americans have contributed positively and to this nation. So it's very comprehensive. It doesn't talk about all the stories, as you can tell, it's not volumes, but it is a reference where students give opportunity for teachers to start that process. Okay, thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Appreciate
sure.
you coming and appreciate you presenting it, and we'll certainly have our administrative team take a look at it and get in touch with you. Any questions?
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So much for another organization, Peaceful Dance.
Sophia. We will move on to our agenda. Mrs. Wagner, would you want to move us through old business?
Sure. If there are no objections, I would like to move the following reports from September 2019, the treasurer's school monies, as well as the board secretary report. In addition to the education reports listed on the agenda, student enrollment for September, report of health office for September, and the 2018-2019 kids self-assessment.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry, and also the minutes from regular and work session, meeting and executive sessions 1 and 2, September 16th.
Second. Thank you, Mr. Kim. Any questions? Comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Capello?
Yes.
Mr. Cass?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Kim?
Yes.
Mrs. Wagner?
Yes.
Mrs. Gould? Sorry. Mr. Anderson?
Yes. Mr. Lure, do you want to move us through personnel?
I would be happy to. I would like to move items 1 through 6 as a block, if there are no objections. We have, item 1 is we have a rescinded motion, we have extra pay for student support, training, battle of the books, an extra, one teacher will, for an extra period every other day. We have a new hire, and we have a resignation. Item 2 is a list of students from Fairleigh Dickinson, Montclair State, Morris County School of Technology, County College of Morris, and Centenary University to observe in Denville School District. We have 1, 2, we have 3 family medical leave of absences, and we have a new substitute.
Second. Thank you, Mr. Kim. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Capello?
Yes.
Mr. Cass?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Kim?
Yes.
Mrs. Wagner?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes. Mr. Capello, do you want to move moving us through instruction and programming?
Certainly, if there are no objections, under instruction and programming, I'd like to move items 1 through 4 as a block. This includes workshop expenses for staff, with travel for various workshops coming up. We also have approving the following sites for the CDI trips for the 1920 school year. And we have accepting a donation of 3 one-hour sessions of Krav Maga training from Joanne Widow of Phalanx Krav Maga and CrossFit.
Thank you, Mr.
Second.
Mr. Cascade.
Oh,
Any questions?
what do we do with number 4?
They come in and they train people that to learn Krav Maga, which is a
Oh, okay.
defense thing. Self-defense.
Yeah.
Mr. Kim knows a lot.
Well, actually, I do have a question. I am friends with the gentleman, with Johan, and I know of this establishment. Do I vote or do I abstain, or?
You don't have,
I don't have
any
any.
kind of financial ties to
No,
them.
and it's a donation too, so I guess. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Capello?
Yes.
Mr. Cass?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Kim?
Yes.
Mrs. Wagner?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes. Mr. Kim, would you mind moving us through policy?
Sure, I'll be happy to. I'd like to motion that we approve for second reading and adoption on policy number 3212 as well as 4212, as well as about 13 policies for first reading as outlined on the agenda. We will be approving the attendance, the policies associated with attendance for the teaching staff as well as the support staff today.
Any questions, comments on policy? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Capello?
Yes.
Mr. Cass?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Kim?
Yes.
Mrs. Wagner?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes. Mr. Cass, would you mind moving the 2 questions?
I'd like to move items 1 through 6 as a block. Item number 1 is to approve the proposed checklist. We have no fund for September current expenses, general organization, elementary enrichment checks. Number 2 is to approve the discard of books as listed in the agenda. Number 3 is to approve the attached budget calendar for the fiscal year 2020-2021. Item number 4 is to approve the grade log to complete pass the trash compliant verification background checks for new hires at a cost of $35 per application. We spent some time at the work session discussing that, and this is a cost-effective measure that will improve the operating efficiency of the process of doing background checks. Number 5, that the board approve the submission of the amendment Individuals with Disabilities Education Act application for the fiscal year 2020 and accepts the grant award of the funds upon subsequent approval of the fiscal year 2020 IDEA application with the following amounts: basic public, $361,036, non-public, $13,954, and preschool, $21,968. Item number 6 is for the board to approve the submission of the amendment to the ESEA-NCLB application for the 2020 fiscal year and accept the grant award of the funds upon subsequent approval of the fiscal year 2020 ESEA and CLB application with the following amounts: Title I Public, $45,622, Title II Part A, $24,777, Title III, $171, and Title IV, $12,001.
Second. Good. Any questions?
Number 5 and 6 are new, because they're old too.
We approved the original application back in May, I would say, and this is just the amendment after we followed the final expenditure report from last fiscal year.
Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Capello?
Yes.
Mr. Cass?
No on note fund. Item number 1, yes on everything else.
Mr. Ward?
Abstain number 1, no number 2, yes on the rest.
Mr. Kim?
Yes.
Mrs. Wagner?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes, I need to abstain on check number 8200. It may have maybe products in my company. Operations, please.
Sure. If there are no objections, I would like to move under transportation that we approve the sale of 2 school buses to Roxbury Auto Wreckers for $900 each. Those are noted on the agenda, as well as approving under B, the bids solicitation for the sale of the vehicles that are listed on the agenda as well. Oh, sorry. Under building and grounds, I would also like to move the memorandum of agreement with Denville Police Department for the 2019-2020 school year, as well as the memorandum of agreement for with the Denville Township Police Department for understanding live stream video sharing
The buses for the Roxbury auto wreckers, I seem to remember a couple of years ago, we had, if I remember, an even lower bid for a bus we were getting rid of, and we ended up donating it to the fire department.
We donated last year to the fire department, because we couldn't sell it, and it was, the bus was burnt, damaged. This time we're able to get on some $100 for the bus.
So there's no interest in trying to do that, or is the fire department did bus training last year and they're not interested in doing it again? Or did we not talk to them?
Yeah, they have one already, they don't have room for it, and also we have to work on it with the but we have to strip it down because they got the oil and you got fluids that leak.
Okay.
And we'll do it again in the future once we're done with it. Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Capello?
Yes.
Mr. Gass?
Yes.
Mr. Dorr?
Yes.
Mr. Kim?
Yes.
Mrs. Wagner?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes. Move on to the good cause. I'll provide everything together as I usually do. Committee reports, correspondence, and discussion items and other. Anybody have anything for the good cause?
I do. The rec committee just completed their Scary House judging, and if you missed out on that, the rec committee also does the Holiday House contest. There's some great decorations. I've gone around just about every year. I didn't get to see the Halloween this year because I was at the Morris County Park Alliance award ceremony with the mayor and Project 2.0 project managers to receive the award for the playground. So that was a nice acknowledgement by the Morris County Parks Commission to give us that. The MAC committee was also at a meeting for that as the liaison. And Darlene mentioned Price, who's been very active in contacting the various stakeholders about getting MAC committee grants, that at some point in the future, she'll be retiring. She said, it's not eminent, but she said she does a tremendous amount of time, and I asked, I've got a good estimate of the hours she puts in each month, contacting the various organizations that could use the grants, and at some point she won't be here to do it, so she mentioned there needs to be a way to get those stakeholders more involved with the committee, coming to the committee meeting, so they get the money that's there, and they have an opportunity to apply for the money. It doesn't seem to be a lot of proactive involvement on the other side, so that's something that needs to be worked on going forward.
Mr. Gass? Any other good cause?
I've got two. My Tennessee Valley PTA meeting was earlier last week. Good meeting, things moved along. They had the 8th grade preliminary events for the festivities. We had a good discussion, Steve came along, which I'm glad he did. Gave an update on the fields. We had a lot of questions about what that timeline is going to look like in terms of how long the field is going to be down. Parents have quite a few questions about what that's going to look like, and Steve explained it really well. So a little bit of concern about the fact that their kids are going to be off the field for the better part of the year. But Steve explained to them that obviously this is something that's going to be for the future. It's a project that we certainly think we were going to be able to do until the town was able to offer us money to make it economical. So I think it was a good meeting, but people did have some questions. And then James and I attended the school board workshop last week, really good. A lot of good sessions, negotiations, and a lot of new law that's come out, interesting rulings, good and bad. The conference itself was really good, and had another record attendance, I think over 9,000 people.
Yeah, 500 more than last year.
Yeah, 500 more than last year, so all in all, a very good conference, so thank you to the Maris and all the staff for setting it up for us and letting us go down. Very worthwhile.
Thank you. Any other good cause?
opportunities and things we need to work on. So appreciate Steve and Dr. Pulse's work on getting that set up and getting it rolling. So I think our next meeting is December, correct, Steve?
Yeah, December.
Yeah, it was right around the middle of December, so hopefully after then we should have some things to report back to the board, at least bring back, so, but it went well. Enrollment in space, I think we're pretty cut up
We
to
talked
date.
a lot about that.
And then, board event highlights from this meeting. December 11th, okay, thanks. Highlights from this meeting, if we want to, anybody have any ideas now, or if not, you can certainly shoot me an email.
Oh, I will say, besides repeating what Dino said in terms of thanking the administration for setting up our conference or combination for the conference, I will say that Phalanx, Krav Maga, CrossFit, Johan Widow, and as well as Tito Dellen, they're two exceptional people, so having them come in will be a huge benefit for the Denville district as well as the teachers. I'm hoping that there will be a big turnout. Is this something that's going to be done one at each school? Okay.
So, Joe and I have been working on dates
Okay.
because winter the gyms are being used. So we decided, first one, we're going to do introductory hour at each school.
Great.
Because that's the only way I can really work it around to make sure we have the right space. So it'll be, in fact, we're finalizing the dates tomorrow, and then the sign of genius is made. It's ready to go to staff, and then just sign it.
Thank you. Yeah, they are exceptional people. They just opened up this gym, so I know that they're doing their best to get the name out. So, but they are definitely great instructors. My daughter had both Johan and Tito as instructors. She was so, yeah. And I think that would be a nice highlight.
Sure.
I don't know, unless it's a little next.
Yeah. Audit, obviously, a report.
I think it's important to have a bus driver issue, kind of as we always do, but that we're forming a committee to kind of brainstorm additional ideas, and if anybody has them, please let us know.
Good, Steve.
I have 5. I have the audit, future ready schools presentation, reviews, respect, concern, and donation.
Okay, perfect. Anybody else have anything for the good cause?